Hey guys, thanks for showing up. Sorry we're a second late. We had some technical difficulties, but we appreciate everybody showing up. And we're going to talk substrate tonight. But James, you want to run through the the hellos?
I would be happy to do that. Hello, everybody. Tampa Tom Fishing, Pugimus Maximus, Redfish, Bluefish, Monocle Inn, Cichlids 23, Pegasus Arena, hello and welcome. Streetwise, Roy and Becky's Travels, meant to be RVing, hello. Glad to have you all here. Get down through here. Big Tank Hank is in the building. Griffin Fish Room, 44 Mega, Fish and More, Lefty 3213A, Peplin Creek Aquatics. Oh, and now it is just a rolling on through there. It just jumped on me.
Yeah.
Deb Hall. I feel like I'm hearing an echo somewhere. Maybe it's just me losing my mind. I bet it's just in my headset. But yep, it is. It's just in my headset. At least everybody else isn't hearing it. Sorry, you all. For those of you that don't know, my power was out for about an hour. And I ripped everything out of the computer, my laptop, just so I was minimum battery, turned it off just in case so we could get at least a partial stream going if I still didn't have power. And so I didn't quite get everything back to where it was supposed to be at. But
it's so bizarre because a major storm's supposed to hit me within the next half hour. And I was thinking, I wonder if I should do this from Walmart or McDonald's. I can't go in. And then just before I called James to tell him heads up, he just called me and said I've lost power. So it's crazy.
Yep. But we've also got Deb Hall D, Tiffany White, Scully Fish, Sickless 23. Hello again. V Stag, fake name Sherry Kramer, Dragon Lair, GRB Aquatics. Okay, it's completely gone on me now. Welcome, everybody. There are so many of you here. I'm glad to see that. I appreciate you all coming up to support this wonderful man here, Chattanooga Ed, as we try and progress his channel along. And I've got a fly in here from where I had stuff open while the power was out. So if you see me swinging at things, I am crazy, but that's why. So would you like to kick off the substrate talks that you have basically all of it covered on your end with samples?
Yep. Well, okay. I was going to bring all the bags up, and I was like, you know what? That weighs a lot. So what I did was I just went with small bags. And how should we do it? Should we just start off right off the bat and get right into it?
Might as well.
We're going to say what our favorite is and say why. We're just normal Joes. So we're not paid by anybody. We're not scientists. So we're willing to listen to all your guys' input too. And we can have a complete discussion on this.
Absolutely. We'd love to get your input in the chat on what your favorite substrates are.
The reason why I'm doing this is, I'm going to go with the sands first. I use the two different types of sand. Your standard playground sand. And then I bought the nice black sand that's expensive at the pet store because it's just so pretty. You can also get the sandblasting sand at Tractor Supply store. It's a little cheaper, but I was afraid it would be too sharp for my Cory cats and things because I don't want to mess up their little barbels. Yeah. So I try to keep soft stuff in there. But, I'm not going to open. I'll try not to open up anything. Was that last week when I dumped all the fish food on my keyboard?
Oh yeah.
Well, this black sand is awesome, and I wanted to do the father fish technique. But I don't think the father fish technique works with the black sand. And I'll tell you what's happened is it works great with this real fine, thick stuff. But I assumed it would work with this sand because, it's a lot like the sand you'd see on the beach. It's like individual pieces. But I put my organic soil on the bottom. And then I capped it with 3.5 inches of this, and I'm getting a white slime coming up through it, and it killed all my dwarf sage.
That's
And
not
so, yeah, it's not good at all. And it's just been kind of a bummer.
good. Did you rinse it before you put it in there?
No, I didn't.
I was just curious.
I don't. This sand comes out so clean, it's perfect. But now this sand you want to rinse because it'll leave a nice little cloud. But this sand, you're getting some good quality stuff. It's probably more for maybe saltwater fish. I don't know, but it's really nice. It costs on average $18 a bag.
I was just curious as to whether maybe there's some sort of silicates or something that led to the slime from not being rinsed off. I have no clue the production process for that, so I can't actually speak to it. I'm simply speculating.
Yeah. Oh. Deb says that black sand never worked for her. So, yeah, I love the black sand, but I don't know. It's really put a whole halt in my operations. But while I'm talking about I like doing the sand over it, and I just normally use this sand. I like to use the fluorite, Seacam fluorite. I like this stuff because it's supposed to be the highest in iron out of the substrates. I don't like necessarily the look of it. You can buy it in the black, but I like this because I can see where I'm dropping it. So I'm getting thin layer everywhere. So that's why I go with the red clay version. And you always hear that red clay has more iron in it, so it might, I don't know if it actually has any more than the black. The black might just be dyed. So that's what I like about the Seacam. It does work good just as you can use this just as a straight substrate too. Just use just that. Have you ever used that, James?
I have not. I have used just, I won't say just, but I've used large quantities of lava rock in with my substrate. One for the beneficial bacteria and two for like segregating plants. So like I've got Val on one end of this tank and it likes to try and overtake the entire tank. So basically I have a 5 to 6 inch runway of lava rock down the middle on top of my pea gravel. And when the Val starts to pop up in that lava rock, that's when it gets pulled out. So it just kind of helps keep the tank divided.
That's cool. Now, do you buy it crushed or do you crush it yourself?
I most of the time just go with the size that it comes from like Lowe's or Home Depot. The sizes vary in the bag. I usually try and keep the bigger pieces out, and I like to use them in my different homemade sumps and filtration setups. So I tend to lean more towards the smaller stuff in the bag. You can crush it up yourself, but I've not gone that far. I just go with basically what I get.
Well, I was going to save it for last. This is the only bag I brought up because you can't open it up. The Eco Complete. But since you brought up the lava rock, this stuff is lava. I believe it's lava rock crunched up.
Okay.
And they've got like a fluid in there, or like a starter bacteria starter in it. I don't know how well it works, but figure I'm not going to open it and ruin it just for the one episode. Is it upside down? Nope, it's not.
Nope,
but I really love this stuff. It works great, but here again, it's sharp. And I've used it in one tank downstairs, and I put in. It was the first time I ever used that stuff. I threw it in there, and Zen Ginger says it's volcanic soil. That's cool. And it's the first time I used it. Works great. I don't know if Corey promotes it or not, but it works incredibly good with his Easy Green because it's basically the rock is real porous and it just holds everything super well.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I think it's like the best thing you can put with his stuff. But it's sharp and it's supposed to mess with the little barbels again. But I've had Corey's in there for almost 2 years and none of them have got worn away barbels or anything. So
Gina French says, I'm just simple. I use pea gravel, river rock. Yeah, I love pea gravel. But I've got everything from fluval stratum, samurai sword, dirted tanks that are sand capped, gravel tanks that are sand capped, bare bottom tanks, a little bit of everything going on.
Now, why do you use your bare bottoms?
Oh, the comments in the chat. I'm already waiting for them.
Why do you like bare bottoms?
I like the bare bottom tanks a lot for the guppy rack, for quarantine, and for the guppy breeding. I prefer to have it. I hate to use the word sterile because we don't want a sterile environment in our aquarium, but I prefer not to have that substrate in there if I'm going to be using it for quarantine, and you've got to worry about contamination in the whatever substrate you're using. That being said, generally what I will do in my bare bottom tanks is I will have like a small pile of lava rock in there to help house beneficial bacteria along with the sponge filters I run in all of them. Plus it gives good little hiding spots for the fry, especially like the Cory fry. But the simplicity of it, and all of those, I have lots and lots of plants, which is usually like bare bottom, no plants, but things like guppy grass and java mosses, Anubias nana attached to a rock, things like that. So I can still get that nitrate absorption from the plants, but I don't have to have the substrate.
And Water Sprite works great there too, because it's just a nice floater.
I used luck with it.
You've never had luck with it?
No. I only tried it once though, and it may have just been really bad when I got it. But
I bought it and I planted it, and I thought it completely died, and it used all of its last energy to make one little baby, and it floated to the top. And now I've got branches that look like carrot tops. I mean, they're just huge, thick things. I love it. I absolutely love it.
Pegasus Urena has a question. It says, Fish Room Fever in Chattanooga, Ed, what's your opinion on a bottom for fantails, bare bottom, or substrate, and then what kind? So I have not kept fantails. I will say another reason I like the bare bottom tanks, and this is slightly playing into the finish thing, is because I've seen several guppy breeders have mentioned they don't like the substrate on the bottom because of the males dragging their fins, and it can tear the fins up with substrate. So they like the bare bottom so you can't get any fin damage. But I know we've got a couple of Goldie people here in the chat. I'm not a huge goldfish person. I like them. Miss Fever has a couple. They are in a bare bottom aquarium with lots of floating plants in there. But I'm sure we've got quite a few people that actually have a lot of experience. And there we go. Dragon Lair says sand is good for goldfish as they like to sift the sand. There you go.
Yeah, I've had goldfish my younger years, and we kept them in a pond, and they would get gigantic, and then they would be the big, beautiful ones, and we'd take them and get little ones. I kept them with gravel as a kid inside the house too. So, when they'd be too little, we wouldn't want to put them in the pond so they wouldn't disappear. We'd grow them out in a gravel tank. But
I like that idea. Pogamus Maximus says, Fish Room Fever, I attach boost to Eco Complete with super glue. I love super glue in plants. I've got a video I'm working on. I've got about 17 videos I'm working on right now. So once the 6th of June gets here and I'm no longer working 6 days a week, lots of awesome stuff coming. Lots of behind the scenes stuff coming also for the channel members. I'm going to let you all get sneak peeks of the projects as I'm working on them. But that's one of the things that was requested was, hey, what are you doing with that plant there? How are you doing that? So I'm going to do a video about making different kinds of funky things with super glue and fishing line. And I actually like to use, they're out of reach. We'll save it for the video. But yeah, lots of awesome ideas. I really like that idea.
And we attached a link to be a member of Fish Room Fever somewhere. I don't know. Does it have to be
description? It's in the description.
Oh, we put it in the description. Because you're helping him, but it also helps me because like this we've got the professional version of StreamYards that we share, and that's paying for that. And it's awesome that, you guys are helping out like that. And then you get to see all the behind the scenes stuff with James. And I'm sure he'll be doing some stuff when James and I head out on the road and stuff. Oh, maybe that stuff that we've got that we shot at the big fish deal that wasn't enough to put anything real together, you could put together for members. Just throwing that out there. You know what? I don't know. He may have locked up. He's not moving at all. I thought he's looking at me like I'm crazy. But yep, going back to the goldfish, I would go with, somebody said sand. You don't want to get stuff that they're going to swallow. You don't need to get the soils and whatnot because you don't want too many plants in there. They're going to eat most of your plants. They're kind of tough. But yeah, I don't know. That brings me to the gravel. You can buy gigantic bags of gravel at Lowe's for like $5. I think it's like a 50-pound bag for $5. Works great. What are people saying that don't know about? Okay. It works great. Oh, I know what I wanted to say. I wanted to go back to talking about the glass bottoms. I use glass bottoms also for my quarantine because why dump in chemicals? If you have to met them, why have that extra substrate in there? A lot of breeders don't want to keep substrate in with their guppies because, like James said, messes up their tails and whatnot. I like having some substrate because at night, guppies all like to sleep on the bottom, and I think it gives the fry an extra layer of protection to be able to lay in the corner, the different bits of gravel. But with that said, I'm probably going to do like 2 groups of 7 tanks that will probably be just glass bottom for line breeding. So that way I can actually see the guppies in full and decide what to go with. I hope I'm live. Yes, I'm still live. I just got another notification. Okay. Now I'll go back to the gravel. A lot of people hate gravel, but you know what? It's still a lot of bacteria can grow on there. I think gravel has its place still. I definitely still use it. Thanks, Zen. Hopefully James didn't go have another blackout. He hasn't texted me or anything. And then the Eco Complete, or not Eco Complete. Flugel Stratum. I got that. Let's see if you guys can see that. These things are super lightweight. I haven't used them a lot. I basically bought them to mix in pots with my sea chem. I mix that together so that way the clay has a little bit something to stick into, and I just don't want solid clay in there. So I put the plants in the little pots, and so that way I can pull them out real easy. This stuff works great for moving plants because it never gets solid. And it's kind of an annoyance too that I don't like because it is so loose. When James and I did the scape off, that's what we got to use. And it was the first time we both had used this stuff. And it was like really hard to sculpt because I really wanted to make a hill and it just kept rolling down. So I kept spraying it down and keeping it up that way. Hey, Green Terror, thanks for showing up. And then I don't know if it's necessarily I also had a bag of crushed coral that I should have brought down or up, but I brought the crushed shells, and you can use this stuff as long as you don't have any fish that like to sit on the bottom of your tank. It's going to be messy though, so I wouldn't use it. But I do tell all my relatives that wear pantyhose, if you guys, instead of throwing them away when you get a run, give them to Uncle Ed, because I fill it, and after this stream I'm going to be filling 2 of those legs with this stuff. and I'm going to put that in my ponds just to give some extra calcium for my ponds because I'll be getting a lot of rainwater and it'll be really soft. And I'd like my guppies to be in a little bit harder water. But yeah, pantyhose. It's probably good that James isn't here, so that way you can't make fun of me for that. But gosh, I guess I went through everything. Does anybody else have any great ideas for bottoms? Oh, let's see. Good ideas, Ed. Bottom tank, breeded guppies, plants, moss, water. Yes, I do lots of floating plants, so I don't worry too much about my bottom layer. That's why I use a lot of gravel, because I prefer to have the bottom clean, or just gravel. Makes it real easy for vacuuming it up. And the plants, I can just scoop them out, put them to the side if I have to get the fish out. Works great. I've said on here many times I love water sprite. I use guppy grass. Just a whole lot of different stuff. I have pea gravel in my tanks. Yep, the pea gravel works great. That's that. Super cheap. Sand is super affordable. I mean, you're talking, I think, $5, $4 for a 50-pound bag. It's a great deal. Let's see.
I'm back.
Hey, partner. And Dragon Lair says that I could get my pantyhose at the dollar store. Yeah, I don't know. I think I'd rather recycle them than be embarrassed to have to buy them in public. So,
are you saying you want my used pantyhose, Ed? Is that what you're trying to say there?
Does that mean you wear pantyhose?
I guess it does. So the power may go out again. It wasn't actually supposed to be fixed until 1 a.m., which is about an hour and 7 minutes roughly. So I was surprised to have it anyways. So just bear with me if it does. I have a backup plan. I can switch everything over to internet off of my phone. So I will come back one way or another, but that may happen again. Just fair warning.
Oh, yeah, the creek mud and the small black pebbles. That's what Father Fish is also doing with his live tank that he's doing. Big tank, or big tank, Hank. I always just want to say big tank. Is that what you do for your beta fish? Do you throw meta? Sorry if Amber's here. And I know she probably doesn't care. Anybody else that I might make cringe when I say that?
There we go. Sorry, I had one of my systems didn't come back online.
You know, I do like a lot of the flat rocks. Like the old-fashioned tanks have just a slate bottom, and that's what my dad used to use all the time, and it worked great for him. Was the slate bottom. So I don't know. It just feels more cozy than the glass bottom. I don't know. It probably sounds crazy, but it has a little texture to it, and you know, angelfish like to stick their eggs to it, so it can't be all bad.
So I will say, in terms of substrate, there are two things I do not like. Absolutely do not like. And I hate to say one of them because I'm a huge supporter of the tank itself. But if you get the Aqueon Rainforest Conservation Kit, the substrate that it comes with, it's really, really light, and it's really difficult to get plants to root in there. You basically have to, or not necessarily to root, but to stay in the substrate when you plant them. You basically have to put a weight on them to keep them down in that substrate because it's such a light substrate.
Is it worse than the stratum?
I like the stratum. I really, really like the stratum.
Oh, wow. Now, wasn't it stratum that we had at the big fish deal?
Mm-mm. That's the Aqueon pellets.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's that stuff that looks like BBs.
Yeah.
From Aqueon, because it's an Aqueon tank and the substrate was their brand. That's the other one that I'm not a huge fan of, just because those BBs, it again is really tricky to get stuff to stay in there. You can do it, and you can do it a little bit easier than that really fluffy substrate in the conservation kit tank, which again, support it, love it, recommend you get one. But what I'm actually going to do when I redo that tank, which yes, it is coming, there's a whole backstory that I'm going to go through in the video as to why part 3 never came out. I'm actually going to use the substrate that came with it to cap over fluval stratum. So I'm still going to use it, and it's going to look nice, but I don't care for it, and I don't like the BB stuff. Same thing with the Carib Sea Samurai soil. The plants really like it, but it's the BBs, and it's just interesting to try and escape with something like that.
Does National Geographic sell a substrate? Am I reading that right? Glasses.
That's what it says.
Maybe they have a little fish tank in their stores or something.
Possibly.
Or, maybe it's another country. So.
Sorry, I'm just validating that everything is working right again.
It's all right. Oh, bummer. We lost one of Bob's messages. Oh, and that reminds me later, Bob, you have to let me know when you're free this weekend, if you're still going to Knoxville. But, yeah, what was I gonna... I've been kind of all over the place today. I didn't go anywhere with the plan of attack.
So Deb Hall says they've got it at PetSmart in reference to that National Geographic sand. And I will say that Streetwise said, I tried Stratum, but it was too light for me. I do see many successful tanks with it. It definitely is lighter than what you might be used to with just your typical gravels and stones and pea gravel and stuff. But once you've used like super, super light stuff, or you've tried those god awful BBs, it's a lot better than than those.
I think the Stratum is way overpriced. I don't think it should be as expensive as it is. But the reason why, like earlier before we started, we were like running through our game plan on how we were going to go through everything. And I was like, oh, nuts, I don't have any Stratum, because I took this out of the Stratum bag. But then for some reason, when I got upstairs, I was thinking that super light stuff that we used in Maryland. Yep. With the pH down.
That is courtesy of Aquatic Marine. Thank you, guys.
And Sean Peck.
Yeah, he had part of a bag that we used initially on that tank, and then I added some more from this bag that was donated by Aquatic Marine for that video. So I'm going to be using it for probably 2 more videos. I'm going to be using it in the Piaba tank, and I'm going to be using it in the tank that the members got to see a sneak peek of. Green Terror Keeper says, I have Natural Geographic sand and with my cichlids, and it's great. I like the play sand. I've not tried that one, but just for the price, or the pool filter sand rather, not the play sand, the pool filter sand. I really like it. That's what's here. That's what's in the African cichlid tank. I've got some in the piranha tank, and that's what I used on both of my dirted tanks.
Yeah, Natural Geographic just sounds so expensive. It just seems like it would cost a lot, but it might be beautiful,
Streetwise says, I use organic soil from a local compost place, capped with sand and tiny bit of gravel. Yeah, that's one good way to do it. Definitely, if you're going to use soil, make sure it's organic and that it doesn't have all the fertilizers and things in it that we don't want killing our fish.
For sure. That's huge. I wish I could find the other type of sand, like the bigger pellets. Do you know what I'm talking about? Or bigger little rocks.
The grains, yeah, it's a larger grain versus like the finer grain.
Super fine sand.
It is.
And it works wonderful in your tanks, but it'd be pretty to be able to get the stuff that, I don't know if it came from the ocean or they dumped it in the ocean. When I was a kid and I'd go to the beach.
Right. You're talking about more like fill sand?
Yeah.
Rick Bunn says, got to run, so good night, everyone. Rick, I hope you have a wonderful night. Appreciate you hanging out with us. Priscilla had said fluval stratum is great for shrimp, but she had also, there it is. She also said, try Shrimp King soil, the best. I've not tried that one. I've not even seen that one locally. But if I run across it, I may give it a go.
Shrimp King soil.
HC Aqua, Jesse says, one of these days I'm going to try that kitty litter clay stuff. I have not tried that one just yet. I don't know if Big City Bettas is still around. I know that she was in Rack Stream earlier, and then with all the lovely technical difficulties tonight, I've kind of lost track of who all is still here. But she's got a really awesome mix of multiple things that she uses. So I would say go check out her videos. I'm sure she elaborates in it somewhere. She was telling me at one point what all she has in her mix, and I was like, wow, that's an awesome setup. I guarantee that's expensive. I can almost guarantee that's expensive just because it's got the Shrimp King name on it. I've not seen anything of theirs that's not
8 liters
price pointed. Yeah,
it's 8 liters for $48.36. So I don't know how heavy that is. Do they in Europe? Do they not measure? Do they measure by volume, not by weight? Priscilla would probably know that. But
is there any kilogram measure on there?
Bob would like to know when you're he's going to be really busy for one more week, and then he'll be free.
Yeah, I'm free on Monday, and then I'm free most afternoons. But again, after the 5th is my last day of work. So after that, I will be free. I will be so free.
So if it can wait a week, then he'll be eligible to go. It does not say any. I'm like zooming around the bag, and all I can find is 8L, and I think that's liter, because I read 8 liters somewhere else.
Saturday and Sunday. Hey, River Life Rack with the hashtag community. Bob was asking no time this weekend. Saturday and Sunday, I work both days until at least 3 o'clock. But again, this will be the last week of that. And then I will have more time to chase my dreams.
Do you think they'll throw you a great big party?
No.
Oh.
No.
Well,
I do have one of the other store managers that's like, let me come by and buy you lunch before you leave. I'm like, okay, cool.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I left my job, I didn't really even get to say goodbye because I went out injured. So that kind of sucked.
Yeah.
They said they were going to send me the cake because they bought a giant cake and they were going to send it to me. It's like, it's all right. I don't want to eat this big cake by myself.
Right.
Let everybody else eat it. So that's what I did. In the memory of Ed.
But yeah, no, in terms of this weekend, you all do whatever you need to do. And then going forward, I'll be able to meet up with you all. Just be sure and say hi to Kenny for me while you're in town. Not that I'm not over there every day anyways, but see, Monica Lynn says, very nice. I like the brand Brightwell. Somebody else had mentioned Brightwell earlier. Oh, there we go. Deb Haldy said, check out Brightwell Rio Escuro F smooth round black fired volcanic ash neutral. Thumbs up. Very nice. There we go. I can see that a little bit better when I move it down there. All sorts of awesome people in here. Lots of good stuff going on. See ours.
Oh,
so
that brings me, not to change the subject, just want to bring this up real quick.
Go for it.
Project Pasilia.
Mm-hmm.
What's today's date? It's the 29th.
It is.
We have one more day to put in our entries.
Yep, you've got until the end of May, and then it is shut down, and we will do voting, and then the River Life will announce the winners on his channel. Time to be determined by him.
And I will be submitting a retarded video tomorrow. So I can't wait. So I don't know. James, did you put anything in it?
I'm not submitting anything. I've put a bunch of stuff out and tagged it for the Project Posilia, but I've not put anything in terms of a contest entry. I could. I mean, it would be null and void, but
yeah,
I figure that's just one less thing that has to be weeded out if I don't do it.
Oh, well, yeah. Well, I'm going to do my video
I
just
still
so
think you
people
should do
laugh.
yours. I like your idea.
Yeah, I just like doing stupid stuff. So, okay. But
Speaking of
if
stupid stuff, if anybody knows where I can find a Pleco costume, please get with me. Fishroomfever@gmail.com.
I could make you one if you want.
I wouldn't say no to it.
All right. Oh, I like your Wonder Woman cup. He doesn't even know he has a Wonder Woman cup. Did you know that cup's a Wonder Woman cup?
Yes.
Oh, very cool. We should be watching Wonder Woman this week if it wasn't for the sickness.
Yeah.
Wonder Woman's one of my favorite DC heroes.
Yeah, Bob, I was just responding to what Ed said. I'm still not back in my zone after everything falling apart. But Kaler's Aquatics said, James, Ed didn't read what I asked. Geez, he asked me when we were going to Knoxville this weekend. I said to ask you nothing about Atlanta. You answered, though. Yeah, I didn't hear anything about Atlanta.
I didn't know I was supposed to ask about Elaine. I'm sorry.
No, I don't. I don't know. Anyway, I'm not available this weekend, but I will be available Monday and then every weekend going forward for the rest of eternity.
Yep. Yep.
So,
but if you do want to go to Knoxville this weekend, just let me know.
Whenever we do the Atlanta thing, there are several other people that would like to meet us in Atlanta and do the fish store hop with us. So we need to make sure that we get with them ahead of time, because I think we've got 3 other people here. A couple of them are in the chat. That
I know
said,
Dragon Layer's here.
Yep, Dragon Lair, and there are a couple others.
And Thomas wanted to come too.
So I do want to say that there is a very big announcement coming this weekend. Going to be on the Saturday Night Fever stream. Ed and I will be there, and we will have Bob Steenfot with us. Love Bob, good guy. Can't go wrong with either of the Bobs. And real quick, even though we're not on my channel, I'm still keeping an eye on this. And Streetwise, thank you for pointing it out. I want to say thank you, Streetwise, for becoming a member of the Fish Room Fever channel. Be sure you check out the member content on the community tab. There's lots of fun stuff for you to go dive in and look at. So you'll have access to all the previous stuff. So I hope you enjoy it. And then lots of stuff to come. Like I said, basically I'm at a point where I'm trying to create 18 hours a day and sleep 6. So like the day before yesterday, when I had the day off, I must have done 20 different pieces of content, plus made all the members badges and just tons of different stuff. Hey, Guppy Guru, speaking of content and things, Guppy Guru has been kind enough to jump on board and start coordinating the Fish Room Fever website. So
wow.
I want to say a huge shout out and thank you to him for doing that. He's updated it. It looks amazing. We've got the stream times back on track. It kind of ran away from me with working 6 days a week. And so he's an awesome guy, and I appreciate him jumping on board to help out with that. But thank you very much, Streetwise, for becoming a member. I appreciate you. It means a lot to me. It really does. That puts us 3 members away from unlocking our 10th emoji for that.
And what's the deal? Is that like a YouTube thing?
Yeah.
They say, okay.
So every so many members, you unlock another custom emoji. So if you look at Corey, he's got like 25 custom emojis unlocked because he's got so many members, which you all are phenomenal. That puts us at 27 members. So we've got 9 emojis unlocked. And then at 30, we get another one unlocked. And I will again go to the community tab and let you all vote on what we should add in there.
Awesome. Oh, Brad, Mr. Fish Sir wants to come to Atlanta with us. Yep. We're going to have to figure out some really cool restaurant or something that we could all hit too. Maybe Bob knows. He lives here, but he knows. I go to Bob. Bob's my go-to guy when it comes to knowing about the South. So, but any of those guys might know about a good barbecue place or something.
Let's see, lots of people talking about love to go to Atlanta. So yeah, so just to touch ever so slightly on this big announcement, I'm not going to give details, but I will say that there is what's planning out to be a good size event being planned for East Tennessee, Knoxville area. this fall, I know there's been a lot of people who've been upset, like Macna was canceled. Of course, the first Aquashella was delayed and moved over. There is no more aquatic experience. So we're bringing something new to the table this year for this area. And I think we're going to have quite a few people coming in from all over the place, but we'll talk more on that Saturday with details and a solid date.
Awesome. That'll be super fun. What also would be cool is if we'd all go sometime to the Georgia Aquarium.
That would be very cool.
It's the biggest aquarium in the nation. But honestly, my Tennessee Aquarium, I like it better. So I am so blessed to have such a good aquarium so close that I can be a member of. I love it. Oh, that's something too, James. You haven't been there yet, have you?
I have not.
So as soon as you're free, we'll have to do that.
And Pegasus Sister Rena, thank you very much. Says Fisherman Fever, not sure you saw, which I did not, but those are beautiful angels in the tank behind you. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. You can thank Miss Fever for talking me into getting back into angels. I've completely fallen in love with them again. There's even a Datnoid in there somewhere. I'm not sure where he's at the moment. And then I have the two Medusa plecos, which I believe are a male and a female in there, and I have a Sultan pleco in there as well. Good luck on seeing them. Doesn't happen too often, but they are in there.
Lance Jones is a guy from North Georgia.
Oh, nice.
And he's probably been to both aquariums.
And I can very much agree with Dragon Lair's sentiment. It says, no expensive restaurant wants to spend my money on fish. LOL Ed. Yes, I can agree with that.
That's cool, but I want to make sure I get some sweet tea and plenty to eat.
Absolutely. Well, and that's one of the things that I will say is with this event that we're planning, we're looking into a lot of the aspects that multiple people, I mean, even up to Corey Aquarium Cop have mentioned, like, there's nobody ever says, hey, we're all going to, the IHOP at 10 o'clock tonight, anything like that. So we're trying to get like all sorts of stuff like that together. So it's really a big community thing and not just, hey, show up. There's a whole bunch of commercial accounts here. We're all going to go drink afterwards. More family oriented, more community oriented. So.
Well, Lance has not been to the Georgia Aquarium. It is pretty cool to see the whale sharks. They've got a lot of mega tanks there. And the Tennessee Aquarium has two separate, literally, buildings that are amazing. One's a freshwater, one's a saltwater. The Tennessee is just so beautiful. But, I mean, for just pure size, the Georgia Aquarium is really neat. So
I've been to Ripley's.
I've never been to Ripley's. I need to go to that.
Monica Lynn, good night. I hope you have a great night. Thank you for hanging out and moderating. We will see you on the next go round.
Yep, Monica, let me know when the betas come in tomorrow. That'd be really awesome. Hope you have some wonderful dreams.
I will say I have been to the Monterey Bay Aquarium out in California, though, so that's got to count for something.
That is cool. That's a huge one. I've never been there. I have never sent fish until yesterday, and I sent two betta to Monica. So, and the bags that the fish store guy gave me were too big for the box, so I had to go with a bigger box, which was a bummer. But the temperatures are just going to be beautiful. The lows like 72 at night, and the highs are like 81. So I didn't put a heat pack or a cold pack.
Yeah, I've got some shrimp that are supposed to show up tomorrow. I'm very curious to see how that turns out. They were shipped almost
ago?
2 weeks ago. Yeah. Basically, they disappeared. So I called the post office, got a regional inspector on it. She came back and said the package is lost. It no longer exists in our system. Here's a claim number so the shipper can file insurance. And then no sooner than the insurance claim got called about, they popped back up. They got sent right back to where they came from, and within 24 hours made it from up there to Knoxville, and they're sitting at the post office right now. Yeah, and they should be okay. I mean, I've literally had shrimp in like a plastic container with mulch and just random plants from cleaning out a tank for multiple weeks, and they've been fine. My only concern has been the temperature, because we've had some really hot days. Like today was a hot day. Fortunately, they've been up north, so I'm hoping it's been a little cooler up there. But I know, like today, in a vehicle, that they'd have been done had they been like sitting in my car today. So that's my only concern is temperature. Other than that, I know that they're packed well and will survive as long as they didn't get too hot. 50 likes so far, looking good, says John Larson. All right, I appreciate that because I don't push it a lot on my channel, but we are on Ed's channel, and we got 59 watching and 54 likes. You all are awesome. I appreciate you all showing up to support this wonderful gentleman.
I appreciate that. Now, I said I'm sending the fish, but the fish store owner literally bagged them and had them all ready for me. You know, I asked him to make sure that they were double bagged. He said, yeah, I know what I'm doing. So I let him, you know, the reverse bagging and everything. And then he bagged them both, and then he put them in another bag. So actually they're triple bagged. But so
I actually ended up with a betta today. Was not expecting it. We'll have a video out on that. Again, that was another partnership thing. So details forthcoming on that. Of course, we'll let the members get a sneak peek as I'm doing that video. But yeah, it was one of those, hey, you need this betta for this video. So you'll get to see that too.
Awesome.
Yeah.
There was a betta when I was picking up those for Monica that, I just loved. It was dark blue and green. If it's still there, next time I go, I'll
look at that, Ed. I can't even do that good when I stream. People don't like me that much, but by God, thank you all very much for that. Now it's 59 watching and 59 likes. You all are amazing. I hope you're enjoying the shenanigans. It's been kind of off-putting with the power back and forth and unplugging and replugging, and I've got all sorts of funny water noises because pumps are trying to settle and sumps are trying to readjust. I will say on that subject that if you're going to make a do-it-yourself sump or any type of multi-level system that has water that has a common area that it goes to when gravity takes effect and electricity doesn't, always make sure that you have it set up to where that toad or that tank or that system can support the additional water. So case in point, and this just reminds me I need to get on it. This is actually a double stack system with another 75 attached to it. It's actually a pet store setup. The bottom tank, if I fill it to where I normally fill it on stream nights, there's a hole in the back for plumbing, and it's only about that far below that hole. So if I had filled it like I normally do and the power went out, it would have flooded out that back hole. I need to plumb it in and have it go to an emergency catch pretty much. Fortunately, I didn't fill it. I just extended the PVC for tonight because I didn't want to mess with it, and I knew that there was a potential power outage, but just something to keep in mind. In terms of power outages, I will say that sponge filters is about the easiest thing to have. One, you can run them off of like Corey's micro USB pumps. I've got one of those. Another thing I have is I actually have a car battery and a power inverter. So I can hook up aquarium pumps to this thing and run it off the car battery if it goes super long term. But you don't really have to worry about the startup. Like that's the one thing. I've still got a pump over here. I need to reprime a hang-on back filter. So just things like that to keep in mind. Generally, your fish will be fine, and I don't panic. My only concern is that I overflow anything to where the sump is going to get overfilled. So
yeah. Well, I mean, Lucas does it without any flow. So
yeah. So does we have a couple people that do it. Amber, Big City Bettas does. She's got a lot of tanks set up that is just nothing going on in terms of that stuff.
Well, I actually have 3 tanks right now that have been going over a week, and the fish are doing incredible. The plants are doing good. I'm still gonna plug air into the sponge filters because I have the sponge filters in there.
Right.
But they were. I have got my big pump coming in tomorrow, and I don't know. Hopefully, my brother-in-law will come out one day this weekend and hook it up. So
That will be
I have
awesome.
Air Central. But the guppies that I got from Guppy Guru are swordtail guppies, and they are incredibly beautiful. I mean, I thought in his videos they kind of look like wild Inler type guppies. But man, these things are almost a lime green. Just super pretty.
So Big Tank Hank says, Fisherman Fever, you need all bettas. I have 4 bettas currently. I have 2 females and 2 males. I actually have one that is right here. I think he is hiding on the other side. But he's in with a bunch of tetras. He does really well in there. I've got another female, another tank, and then I have the glow betta that I did the video on in a fishbowl. Shame on me. But the fishbowl is, what is it, about 4 gallons? Ed, you've seen it in person.
Yeah, I don't think it's 5.
Yeah, it's a legitimate nano tank. It's not a little bitty bowl. But on the bettas, I am curious. Yeah, it says power outage is no problem. Yeah, I don't worry about it. Like, unless it gets going on multiple hours, I know everything's going to be fine. I'm curious if anybody out there in their state has a pet store. And yes, I know Aquarium Co-op is what everybody's going to bring up. So aside from Aquarium Co-op, how many pet stores do we have out there that have betta walls with fully filtered and heated and all of the wonderful things that nobody wants to do for their bettas?
Well, how big does a wall classify? Because my guy right in Hickson has just turned one in, like it's probably 6 foot by 4 foot or 5 foot. It's what a lot of stores used to put their salt water in, and he had salt water in it, and he said it's a saltwater death trap because the large fish just didn't have enough room in it, and he turned it into a betta wall, and it is really cool.
Very nice, very nice. Yeah, there aren't a whole lot. I've got some upcoming things to be released, but I'm just curious. I don't know of anybody else that's got one that's heated and sump plumbed and all of that one, UV sterilized and all that great stuff. I know Corey's got his amazing setup, but we can't all, have Aquarium Co-op next door.
Hey, Big Tank Hank, where are you at in Texas? I wonder if he'll be at Aquashella come October, because that'd be pretty cool to meet him. Just throwing it out there, folks.
Yeah, absolutely. So we got one in Texas. We of course have Aquarium Co-op. We have the one. Now, see, I'm gonna have to look into this one in Hickson now. See, does he have it plumbed into the sump and UV sterilized and heated and all these fancy things?
Yes, because it used to be a saltwater job. So it has all that stuff hooked up underneath it, and it all runs through.
Very nice. Lefty3213 Ace is 56 watching and 61 likes. Woot chat, good job. Yes, good job indeed. Thank you very much. That guy, let me get pointed the right direction there. That guy, awesome guy. I appreciate you all supporting him. He's a huge friend, supporter, all of that for me. So it's great that we can help him out on his YouTube journey as well.
Boy, I was going blank though when you went link dead. I was like, I forgot everything we were supposed to talk about. It's terrible.
Well, we had the soil and then the rest of it was play it by ear, and I figured we could talk power outages since that has happened and it happened again, and I'm like, yeah, we can do that.
Yep.
Yeah,
and the storm didn't even hit me.
And it wasn't even that bad here.
What?
It wasn't even that bad here. The storm wasn't.
It was we're supposed to be getting hit like, actually we're supposed to get hit between, like in the next 10 minutes. So who knows? Maybe it'll just go. But I was thinking about doing the stream from outside. I thought it'd be fun.
Pegasus Arena says, Fisherman Fever, the stores here suck for bettas. Petco has a few on an end cap, and PetSmart has an end cap, but they are all in cups that Corey hates, and they look sad. Yes. And then Kaylor's Aquatics says, James, it's in my bid I did there last week. I vaguely remember the wall, but I didn't remember you talking about the specifics of exactly what all was hooked to it. But usually I'm listening while I'm doing a million other things. So I will have to go back and rewatch that, Bob, and investigate and check it out. I hope to get down there and actually see that store soon.
That'd be awesome to meet you, Big Tank Hank.
That would be very, very cool.
I will not try to arm wrestle you, though.
Yeah, so Ginger Graves brings up something I wanted to talk about. Ginger Graves says, at the Zen Ginger, I love the way you escaped your mud skipper tank. It looks really nice. I know I commented on the video, but it deserves a second mention. Yes, it does. I was actually going to share that out today, and she was like, what? And so I've been letting it ride for a little bit. But since we've got 54 people watching now, and Zen probably won't link it herself, let me see if I can go find the link real quick for her mud skipper video, because it was an awesome video.
Oh, I did not see this.
She kind of snuck it out there last night, hoping a lot of people wouldn't catch it because everybody else was streaming at the time.
Oh, well, I've either been on live streams or for some reason I've been really into listening to scary stories as I do things around the house. So I've been listening to these creepy pasta things I just discovered. I've been working a lot of my fish tube people for scary stories, but I promise that won't last.
I have been on the motivational powerhouse for a while, but I've got, I think last I looked, 164 videos saved to watch later. Every time any fish tuber video pops up, I put it on watch later. That way I don't lose it.
Yeah, I saw Jadron Aquatics even made one, and I was like, oh, I got to go watch that to help support him, and I never got to it.
And Lefty3213A has got Zen's video linked, as well as 44 Mad Guy Fishing More linking as well. So y'all please save that. Go check that out. Support Zen Ginger. Again, she's a huge supporter of Ed and myself. So we want to return the favor. And it's really awesome. I like the way she built the wall. See.
I'm not in my head like I know, and I honestly don't. So it'll be cool.
No, it's very, very cool. I told her, I said, I'm not even going to build things on my channel anymore. I'm just going to send people over to you because it's awesome.
I would like to get a beta wall. That'd be really neat. If we could figure out how to make one ourselves.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, it wouldn't be too complicated. We could do it. Deb Hall D says, spent $6K on a natural gas generator, tired of dragging cords into power 7 tanks in the middle of the night. That is commitment right there. My hat is off to you if I were wearing one, because that is just awesome. Now the piranha are mad for some reason. If you build it.
Yep, and I should be, hopefully, next week I'll be able to start painting models in my basement. That'd be fun too.
That would be very cool. Yeah,
Yep.
I need you to get Bob out there to do his video tour of your place. That way I'm allowed to come out there because I know he's got rights to it at this point.
Yeah, the one thing was that white slime really slowed me down. And then today I was moving the LRB / Jan Wilson tank. They're like LRB shrimp or LRB albino shrimp or galaxy albinos. Guppies, not shrimp. And then it's Jen's bumblebee shrimp. Well, I saw a lot of planaria in there. And so that worried me. So tomorrow I'm going to go and I think I'm going to try the dog dewormer trick.
Okay. You'll have to let me know how that turns out. I've not tried that one previously.
Yeah, I have 3 endlers. It's endlers like to eat planaria, but I don't want to put endlers in there with that line. That's those are the guppies for chewing.
Okay, gotcha.
I know that Chewy wants to mix them with things, but I don't think he wants to mix them with Dan's endlers. So I could get a blue Grommy, but I'm afraid it might decide to eat all the shrimp, or not the shrimp, but the fry instead of the planaria. So yeah, it's a mess.
So we've got several people asking what models or models of what that you'll be painting.
Well, I'm a huge gamer, so I like to paint any like little model. It's monsters, people. I'm going to be doing a whole bunch of I don't know what Hot Wheels and make them look like Road Warrior cars. And nobody has to watch it whatsoever. This is good promotion, but I'm going to do it live and see if anybody wants to talk to me as I do it during the day. Just because when I paint, I like to have people around talking and doing it themselves, but I don't have that group here in Chattanooga. So I figured maybe I'll see if I can get a group to do it on live, or we're just talking.
Yeah, absolutely. Why not?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I love D&D too, so that's cool. I haven't made any D&D or painted any D&D models for a long time, but a lot of board game models I will be painting. All my board games are on the other side of the room. In last night's stream that Sand Creek did for Pam, or while Pam was out with the death in her family, I showed off a bunch of my games. And then maybe we could do some live streams of games play too.
I would like to say congratulations, Ed, for passing 450 subscribers. You're at 453 now. Very, very cool.
Wow, thank you guys. It's crazy.
Thank you all very, very much. Very much appreciated. This guy, yep, I got the direction right. This guy's awesome. So I appreciate you all showing up to support him, because he's, the other half of the show. So he's been a huge support to me and a good friend. So it's nice to see his channel growing.
Can you show the thing that you made today?
The thing that I made today.
You texted it to me.
Oh,
it's a lot like the Wonder Woman thing.
Yeah. It's totally.
This is so cool, guys.
Totally going to be promoting here, but hey, since you brought it up, I don't mind showing it. Yeah, give me just a second, and I'll just screen share it.
Hopefully, none of my relatives are watching, because this is what they're going to get for Christmas.
It doesn't help if I search it on YouTube. It's not going to be there.
Well, I mean, I could just post the pictures you texted me.
Yeah, they're kind of crappy. That's the problem with taking pictures of a computer screen, is you get that wonderful light flickering thing. So here we go. Listings.
And if we don't make a shirt, one of my shirts by the time, I guess in the next week, because I said I would donate a shirt to the Project Pasilia as one of the prizes. Maybe I'll have to give out one of these for a prize or something.
All right, so here we go. And screen share. We'll do that. Share. Just keep swimming.
You know what? Sick just asked me if these glasses work. I bought like 6 of them from the dollar store, and I grabbed this pair. And this pair, it's like, I think they put 2 different lenses in it or something, because everything is kind of like I'm looking through water when I use them. So I'll use them if I have to. Okay, check this mug out.
So what I did was I designed it so one way you've got the Fish Room Fever logo, but you can switch it the other way, same one, and have Team Chattanooga Ed there. So I thought it was cool. I ordered one as well. When I ordered the others earlier, I tacked one on for me because I wanted to get one. So I figured that'll be a nice little thing to have for my coffee. Not that I have anything against the Wonder Woman, but yeah, I thought it was something I wanted, so I made it. And I figure if other people like it, they like it. If not, I can order one for me. So,
Yeah. That's super cool. I'll keep my pencils in that, or paintbrushes. You can pick the color.
Oh yeah, I selected every color on that one because there were no letters for it to blank out. So you can, once this thing catches up,
Oh, that's terrible.
Yeah.
Oh, but
I
the
know.
yellows, it's like
I
bizarre.
don't disagree with some of them being terrible, but I figured to each his own. If somebody wants a green pea vomit colored one, that might be somebody's favorite color in the world. Who am I to say that they, aren't entitled to do it? So I just
You
threw all the
know
options on there.
that order I did with you earlier today?
Mhm.
Can you do each one in a different color?
It's already been paid for and submitted.
Nuts. Oh well. I was like, that'd be so funny to have a bajillion different colors for everybody.
Yeah. So
Oh
you
well.
got, and
It's
I did.
actually cool.
I fixed the D and Ed back to how it was before I did it, so that way you wouldn't be like, no, you still have the other one on there.
Yeah.
Jay's Cozy Obsession says I'd do the vomit green, and we got pink for Priscilla. So the other
When
one, sorry, go ahead, buddy.
I'm sorry, I'll just be real quick. When I gave my logo to James to put on the things, he thought I didn't do it right, and I forgot to not fill in the D, or and I was like, no, I like it that way.
Yeah, so I
So
took the time to Photoshop it out. Then I was like, screw it, I'll just put it back. So here's another one because I know there are a couple people that like the play on words thing. This is available in every color but black because black would get rid of the letters. So that's another.
That's pretty.
But it's available in everything but black. So that's one of the things I worked on. Again, that's one of the
Nice job.
getting back into moving forward. I have certain things like, okay, every day I'm going to make X amount of items for this. I'm going to spend X amount of time doing things for the members. I'm going to film, this many things for the channel. I'm going to work on the website for this amount of time. So this is, I guess, 44 Mega Fishing More. This is Teespring. Sorry, I was trying to catch up on the chat real quick. But yes, it is Teespring. Again, the only color not available on the Discus one is black, because if you did black, the letters wouldn't show up because the letters are black.
Priscilla would like to see it in purple.
Priscilla would like to see it in purple. All right. And it is a cartoonized Discus. I took the picture and then I went to a program and I cartoonized. Oh, no, that one I oil paint designed on it. So let me see. Purple.
It's neat.
Is that purple? I can't. Oh, yep. There we go. That's a purple. It's
kind of like a chewing gum purple. Like
yeah. That's a blue, I think. Yeah, that's a. We'll see, and it's different depending on which monitor I look at. It shows us two different colors, so just a different shade or variation.
Meg guy would like to know whose store. I'm sure it's what's the spring
called? The Fish Room Fever Teespring. I forget. I don't put the link for the merch shop in your description on your channel. I'm used to it being in the description when I'm on my channel, but let me see back.
I like that vomit green also, Priscilla.
Like it was Bob Keller that said it was like inler color, and yeah, it's not bad.
For be vomit green, what would you have to eat to make it come out that color?
Like the baby food peas, I think. Here we go. Oh, I should have hit view store.
I don't have children, so I don't eat it.
Okay. Here we go. Let me copy that. And I'm just going to post it under your name in the StreamYard chat, Ed, since I don't feel like finding that other window. So there we go. Chattanooga Ed, a.k.a. myself, just posted the link in the chat. Because it's for anybody that doesn't know, I run the setup from my end just for tech purposes. So if I post in StreamYard, since I'm running the StreamYard, it comes up underneath Ed.
Well, and for some reason, my computer won't allow me to go live with my normal account, Chattanooga Ed. So I have to go on my second account called the Chattanooga Ed because it's through Foxfire.
All right, let me get this off of here. Enough of that stuff. I still really like that my discus is bigger than yours. I gotta give props to the Zens for that one. That was a Zen idea. Yeah, so there will be all sorts of fun things coming. If you ever have anything you want to see on there, let me know, because the goal is to put stuff out that people want to see, that people enjoy. I'm going to have some motivational stuff coming as well, just because that's a very big part of myself at this point. You can ask some of the people in here that I talk to on a daily basis through Messenger and whatnot. It's all day long. It's like a motivational talk with me.
I saw you on. You've been on a lot of different shows this week. You have
Monday
your
was
normal
crazy.
show on Monday, and then you did Bob's Theme Font on Monday, and then you were on Sand Creek with me. So you had a crazy day that day. Oh, my sister-in-law is here. And then, but I rewatched that Bob's Theme Font, and you were really good. Now, did you just sneak on there?
Well, no. What it was is it started out as a joke. Because Bob was running late, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm just waiting on Fish Room Fever to Skype me. Sorry guys, we're waiting on Fish Room Fever." And I'm like, "Oh, ha ha ha." And he mentioned it a couple more times, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to find him on Skype, and I'm going to call his bluff. And I kind of halfway figured he would call my bluff of calling his bluff, so I was ready just in case. And sure enough, he answered, and we talked, and he's going to be on my channel Saturday, which we were kind of discussing that anyways. But that was a good way to solidify it, because it was like, "Hey, you coming on?" And he was like, that's too far out for me to commit to anything, because if it's a nice day, I want to be outside. So it was a good way to get on screen and say, "Hey, are you coming on? Can we solidify it?" James is the new Lucy, says Kaler's Aquatics. I mean, hey, I'll take it. No complaints.
Yeah, Lucy's awesome. I'd like to be the next Fred. Fred Mertz, man, he was awesome. He wore his pants to here.
All right. I have got chat
really
back.
long watch pants. I mean, I don't know if you had to have them special made back then. But it'd probably make it real easy to wear a belt.
That's true. That is a valid point.
I told Bob that I'd be free all weekend long. I do have to be live for that stream at 7:30 Saturday. Mm-hmm. So if we go to Knoxville on Saturday, I have to be available. And maybe I could figure it out by my phone. I did that drinking game on my phone. Can you believe it? Anthony's Fishy Friends stream.
I missed that one. That was one of those. I knew if I stepped into the trap, I wouldn't be able to get out of it. So I just avoided it and went to sleep. I'm like, nope. I really wanted to swing in and say hi to you guys. And I'm like, nope. If I step foot in there, I'm not going to be able to walk away. And that's just not where I need to be at. So I'll have to go back and rewatch it.
It's the first trivia competition I was in that I didn't answer a single question right. And I answered a couple for other people when I wasn't supposed to. But I need to talk to Ro because I don't even remember what she asked me. I guess I need to rewind. I need to watch it.
Hey, at least you didn't have to write your answers on the front of an aquarium to try and play.
Yeah. But I'm not a drinker, guys. I drink beer sometimes, but I don't drink hard stuff. And I was really paranoid about this stream. So I did everything I could. I ate all the donuts I could. I tried to trick people to drink instead of me. I had a good time.
Bob wants to see Kaler's Aquatics on the backs. On the backs of what? I'm not sure. I missed a lot of chat. And then now Scott Backer's talking about Keller's Aquatics backside. I don't think we need to go. No. Yes, fishy questions. If anybody has any fishy questions for us, we're more than willing to take them. This is the part where we segue into insanity.
We ought to put something like Fish University somehow with it and put FU on the bottom of the cup. So when Ham drinks it, she can have her FU cup.
I like that. Yes, I like that. I don't think on those I have an option for designing anything on the bottom, but I am looking into other alternatives for products in terms of getting things made locally. But that's one of those things that after I'm done with my job and, I'm in talks for a channel sponsorship and some other things going on. So we'll see how it all plays out. For right now, that's at least something that's out there and I can provide it fairly reasonably priced. But I'm really wanting to switch over to like a local printing company to have things screen printed so that I can keep the cost down and pass that along to everybody.
Have you talked about that to Kenny?
Yeah, I need to get with Kenny. It's just one of those things with working 6 days a week and then having a channel and 46 tanks and kids. It's like I don't have enough back burners. So a lot of stuff I'm working on getting caught up. Let me see if I can find. I want to say that it was Pegasister. Yes, there it was. Pegasister Rena. And I love that name, by the way. It says, what's your number one favorite fish you have ever owned? Ed, would you like to take that one first?
My number one favorite fish I ever owned?
Yep.
Boy. It's really tough. Probably the one that I was most excited about is Pam's Daisy Rice fish. I love those little guys. I love my Bisher, and that brings me back to Pam. She asked me to take a photo of my Bisher, and I haven't done that yet. But for the last three, now my brother's here. Hi, Tim. Like for the last 3 days, he hasn't been coming out for food, and then today he was back out getting food. So, wait, that's really tough though, because I remember when I got my first discus ever, they were just little bitty guys, and I'm pretty sure that was from Fishkeeper Hans. I got them at the Cichlid convention in Chicago. I remember him talking about how they were German discus and all this stuff, and I'm like, yeah, I just want them. And I really wanted to go up there for angelfish because at the time there was no angelfish in St. Louis. So I thought I'll go to the Chicago, the Cichlid convention. Well, there was like this huge flash flood and stuff, and the airport got shut down, and no angels got in. And then the discus were there, and I went discus, and that was pretty cool because I had some beautiful high quality discus. I really got lucky. So, how about you?
So I'm looking to see if they are available before I say that you can't really find them, because 10 years ago you couldn't find them. Yeah, it still doesn't look like you can really find them. So last run through the hobby, it's a piranha. I managed to get a hold of some Cerosalmus maculatus, which it still looks like they're not very common in the hobby. But it basically wound up getting them from someone who had them shipped up directly from South America, like a missionary friend that was down there. And that's the only reason that they became available. But I absolutely love those fish. It was a beautiful fish in and of itself, but I got a school of them, and the person I got them from had them with red bellies. And so I managed to be able to successfully keep them in the school with a school of red bellies and breed them and red bellies in the same tank, which is like a whole bunch of things that you're not supposed to be able to do. So they were a beautiful fish, but just the experience that went with having those fish and all of those things working together that shouldn't have worked together, I'd say that was probably the favorite fish I've ever had. Just because it was, I doubt that I'll ever be able to have that happen again. So
That's awesome. Yep. Well, don't say don't. You don't think it'll ever happen. I hope it will.
well, it's possible, but I don't know. Who knows? Maybe one day I'd put forth the effort into trying to make all those things work again. But I've got other projects I'm on now, like that. I'm on to trying to breed the Caribe piranha. And then if you were to ask me the one fish that I really, really want, that has always been on my list, that would be a blue diamond piranha. They are beautiful fish. Anytime I see one on Nat Geo getting cooked up, I'm like, no, don't do it. Or the Discovery Channel. Like, that's like a $600 fish. Please don't cook it.
It's a $600 piranha,
If you get the big one, Joe.
and you need at least what?
No, that
Six?
one's a solitary. That one's, you just want one by itself.
Oh,
Or
okay.
at least, let me rephrase that, because I'm about breaking rules and not following guidelines. The standard guidelines, which, again, you would be really hard-pressed to try and get two of those guys or multiples of those guys to get along. But that's one that it's like one per tank, kind of like the black piranha. Most of the Sierra Salmus are solitary piranha if you're going to keep them in aquariums. The Pygocentris, you can do schools. We did have a couple more good questions here. And I think this is going to be a good one for you because you've got taller tanks than I do. Scott Backer says 150-gallon tall aquarium. What light for a planted tank?
Oh, jeepers. It's all about how much money you got. I mean, the castles are, if you got the money, do that for your tall stuff. On my talls, I've got a 200 tall. It's almost 4 foot, but I've got geos in there, so I've got nothing planted. Everything's at the top floating. And I've got just, that's where I've got the water sprite that's 1.5 feet long. I was talking about how it looks like a giant carrots without the carrot on the end, just the top of it. And the Beischer, he loves it. I mean, he just goes right on top of it, hangs out in it. But I use the spotlights that LRB uses, the Walmart ones.
Okay.
Yeah, you want, blue light goes deepest, so you want to make sure it has blue lights in it, whatever you get, if you're worried about growing stuff on the bottom. I mean, Priscilla, she's a professional salesman, so she probably knows everything.
My understanding, though, is that blue light is the least effective for growing freshwater plants.
It probably is, but it's also the deepest, so.
Yeah. I mean, and penetration, I know we're going to have comments in the chat. Penetration is definitely going to be an issue at that depth. I try to keep a straight face while saying that.
You know what? Flugel. The Flugel 3.0, that's the best one out there, right? For planted.
Pretty much.
I mean, there's going to be better stuff, but that just costs a lot more. The Flugel, your best expensive good one.
I would say a Flugel should do the trick. And it used to be. Again, I haven't looked at these things since my last run through the hobby, but I would imagine there are still plenty of nerds out there that have par charts in terms of your lighting par and looking at the actual depth on what's hitting to the bottom and what isn't. So I would probably do a Google search and try and find some sort of par readings on the lights before you purchase to be sure. I saw a question from Sharpies.
And Priscilla brings up the point that blue light causes algae. I've been actually keeping my blue lights on purpose on my flagfish tanks at night, just so I can give them a little extra to eat. Because those little suckers are awesome, how they just pound that hair algae down.
There we go. Sharpie's Modelson Aquatics says, I have a fishing question. 4-gallon tank, 1 betta to come. Any suitable tank mates other than snails? So for a 4-gallon, like I say, I've got bettas in with other stuff, but I wouldn't put the other stuff in a 4-gallon tank. I will say one thing I'm finding interesting is my betta that is in the little 4-gallon bowl. I actually put the whisker shrimp that I got from the big fish deal in there because I didn't want them eating the baby blue-eyed lemons that were in the tank that they initially went into because the whisker shrimp are getting bigger. So I've got whisker shrimp in with my betta that's in a 4-ish gallon bowl. You could try some other things, but I know I'm enjoying that one. It's got some other activity in it.
Well, GRB said the Flugel 3.0 is $400 in Australia. That's rough. I think I got it on one of those sales that Corey had for like 15 or 20% off. It was like 165.
Well, see, you could just buy 10 of these things that you recommended for $15 a piece, but $150. I'm sure you could get enough lighting down there.
Well, and you see, that's the thing is I use lots of aquanates because just about everything I have is a 20 long. So I don't need super bright. I just want it to be pretty and efficient. And you save a lot of money. I bought 8 of them today. So now I have 16 of them.
Let me jump back up here. I know we missed some questions. There we go. I'm the new Lucy. Get back down there. Jay's Crazy Obsessions. And if I skipped a question, nope. Looks like I'm back on track. Says, how much fish food would a fish eat if a fish could eat fish food? More than it needs. It would eat more than it needs, and as much as you fed it. Yeah, that's it's an interesting question.
Unless it's a picky puffer.
A picky puffer.
I tell you, my little puffer, she's a little. She'll either eat forever or she'll just stop. And I'll like feed her 3 or 4, and then she'll leave. And it's like, oh, you got all this more shrimp for you, and you aren't pounding it.
So 44 Mad Guy Fishing More says, how hard are discus really at Fish Room Fever? So I have not kept discus. Let me preface with that. That being said, I have seen them in a lot of different pet stores being kept in a lot of different parameters. Not to say that they were at optimal, but they were all doing well. They weren't sick. They weren't, having issues. I really don't think that they are at the point that they're as fragile as they used to be. And I say that because I think that some hardiness has been bred into them now that probably wasn't there before, just from what I've seen and researched and heard. That would be my speculative guess on it.
I think they can handle harder water now than they could 20 years ago. Yeah. But it's still, you got to still keep them like 82. They're like a ram. Keep them hot.
Pegasus Arena says, Fish Room Fever, my username came from me liking My Little Pony, thus Pegasus, and my name is Sabrina, so I shortened it to Rena. Glad you like it. Very cool. And I don't see the Sabrina spelling with R-E-N-A instead of I-N-A very often. So awesome. Thank you for sharing that. Fish Tropic says, if you have discus, have meds, LOL. Go ahead, buddy.
Oh, something Anne said she liked both of our cups and the shirts. So, Anne, let me know what your favorite color is. Her birthday's not until the 9th, though, December 9th. So I don't really have to worry about her for a long time.
Thank you, Anne.
And I hope it's December 9th. If it's not, it's the 10th.
Fish Tropics 24 discus are boring. I'd rather stare at pancakes or goats. And then C23, Cichlids 23 says, Fish Room Fever, have you seen Golden Fish Tank's piranhas? No, I'm going to have to go check that out. Papa Shrimp is still here. Hello, Papa Shrimp. Saw you come in earlier, but I didn't want to interrupt. Plus, I think that was around the technical difficulties time in the stream. Tampa Tom is on a Spice Girls kick. Says, I'll tell you what I want, what I really, really want. Sharpie's Models and Aquatics. On my list of things I don't want, a tank I'm scared to put my hand in. Okay, so, well, I mean, you're talking 4 gallon. There really aren't a lot of things you can put in a 4 gallon that should scare you to put your hand in it. And I keep going this direction because I'm looking at the 4 gallon betta tank back there trying to come up with ideas. So I'm a lot better at coming up with ideas when I'm visualizing what I'm trying to solve, and that's why I keep disappearing.
It might be easier to figure out if he's afraid of things that would go in, what could go in there. Like leeches, let's rule those out.
Well, if he says he's afraid of water or fish, I give up.
Yeah. But oh, did anybody in chat? I totally missed it. Has anybody used the dog dewormer on planaria? I know that it's 0.1 or it's like 1 gram to every 10 gallons. But I've never actually done it because I've always like just thrown a Grommy in or something that would destroy them. But like I said, I don't want to put a predator fish in there that will eat my fry, and I don't want to put indlers in there to mix with my fry, or mix with the adults. So yes, it works great. Thanks, Papa Shrimp, and he would probably know. That's awesome. I will buy some of that dog dewormer tomorrow. Awesome. But what you doing over there? Oh.
Trying to get this set up.
Big Japes, right. Autocats. Autocats are super cool. As long as you don't keep it in the dark.
Hold, please. I'm still here and I can still hear him talk, but I'm going to, since we're talking about bettas and 4-gallon aquariums and all that, I figure we might as well look at one.
Pam says it's one of her most popular videos. I have, let's see.
Pam does videos.
Hydra.
I'm just
another
kidding.
Well, awesome. If somebody could, somebody did. Nice job, Lefty. Lefty, you're just an amazing guy. I'm glad I met you.
Lefty is. All right, I'm going to try and, well, I guess that's as focused as you're going to get right now.
Bam.
All right, let me find my chat again.
That looks really good, man.
Thank you. The moss is not doing as well as I would have liked, but I don't have phenomenal lighting on it. It gets a good beam of daylight in the morning hours, so that has been nice. But in terms of actually lighting it, I need to get another one of these Night Crew clip-on lights that you turned me on to put on there.
Yeah, they're neat little lights, man.
They are.
Oh, and I think my sister used your link today too, because she showed it to me. She did it through her phone.
Well, thank you. I really do appreciate that. Stuff like that. It's a very small amount that I get when you use my Amazon links, but it adds up and it helps. I mean, I usually save it over a month or two, and then like I put it towards buying these Night Crew lights. So one of those is going to be in the video that I'm working on now with that. I don't want to call it sponsored tank, but pretty much sponsored tank. And then the other one may go on that Betta Bowl there. So I appreciate that very much. Every little bit helps.
Yep. And you see, my sister and I, we both use we have a Prime account together. So she just orders everything for me, and then my card she's got the numbers and it comes to my house. It's just awesome. That free delivery is just so cool. Probably everybody has Prime now.
Yeah, it's very rare that you find somebody that does it.
Do you have a floating snail in there?
Probably.
He's hovering so well.
Is the one back on? Oh no, it's actually going along that piece of wood there.
Oh, okay.
Bob Kaler is lurking and feeding the fish. Always good stuff.
Yep. And if my brother Tim's still here, he should check out Sharpie's Models and Aquatics, because he is an amazing modeler. I don't know if that's what you call it, but my brother's a huge gamer, so I think he would enjoy his videos.
I'm going to slide this out a little bit. I think that will give a better focus. There we go, because I don't feel like playing with the manual focus on it at the moment and sticking my finger on the lens.
Wow. Tiger autos are between $15 and $18 a piece. That's interesting. I just go with the plain old autos. And get your autos. I mean, probably everybody here knows this, but get your auto cats at a local pet store. Don't get it at PetSmart because they basically starve them to death at PetSmart. They don't have any algae in there to eat. And once they starve, they just can't handle not eating. So
Yeah.
they don't last long once they get starving. I heard something once that they get some type of bacteria or something in their stomach and they die if they start to starve. So it's like you're never supposed to let them starve. And it's like almost all the PetSmarts I ever go to, they're in pristine, clean tanks with nothing for them to eat. And I'd rather help out my local fish store. But that's just my 2 cents.
Jay's Crazy Obsession's got a question, but real quick, I would say WTF MRB says, my betta flares at a snail I got together with him. That's just hilarious.
That is awesome.
And then Jay's Crazy Obsession says, weird question, fam. Do y'all think fish can sleep with the blue light on? I'd like to grow algae in my pleco tanks, but good luck with the number of fish I have. I'd like to leave it on 24/7, 365. So, I mean, you've got people like, I know Dan's Fish has mentioned he intentionally keeps moonlight on to help with predation on fry. I've started doing that as well. I keep a blue light on in each room, not to grow algae, but simply to have that moonlight effect, if you will, because I've got so many different sets of guppies now, and I don't want the babies words are hard, as Candy would say, getting eaten up. There we go.
Yeah, and well, like angels, you keep a nightlight on so they don't do the same thing for their eggs. I keep a nightlight in my fish room, and definitely, I don't think it ever gets completely black in lakes. You know, I mean, there's always a moon. Maybe if it's overcast, it might be completely black. But I think they do fine under the blue light.
Yeah, I would agree. That should be fine.
But you will grow algae like crazy if you do it every day. I just do it like a couple days a week, so just to try to help it out. But yeah, I keep it with American flag fish. I don't see them going crazy or anything. They're just happy. And there's plenty of places for them to hide in the tank too if they want to be under a little darkness. Can a TV light? I doubt it. I don't think the TV light will affect the plant whatsoever.
I loved Corey's comment he made earlier about, just use your phone light a couple minutes. You know, your phone screen is a light for a couple minutes every day, and that plant will grow just fine.
Oh, I wasn't there for that.
Yeah, it was pretty funny.
I was running around. It seems like anymore, all I do is do things. Oh well. It used to seem like I had more time to be able to just sit and watch YouTubes. Hopefully, I'll get back to it.
Cichlid 23 says, get a Flugel 3.0 and leave the lights on lots. You'll have a massive algae farm in a week. That would not surprise me.
It happened to me. That's why I got AutoCats and shrimp. And what else did I get for them? I got the AutoCats, the shrimp. The mollies actually would eat some of the hair algae. I would watch them do that. So, yeah, the best thing to control algae is just less light. You know, I just kept reducing the light until I didn't get any more. Oh, now if you got duckweed, you don't have to worry about it. Now I have duckweed and I don't have algae. It's a pain.
Yeah, I really don't know that TV light would affect plant growth at night. I mean, I guess there are a lot of factors, you know, how big is the screen, how much light is it projecting, what color is the screen on, is it a white screen, is it a black screen, how far away is it? As Corey would say, there are a lot of variables there, and I'd really need to do more research before I can commit to that.
Yeah, I think they would still do their normal gas off at night. I don't think they would change. It'd have to be really bright for them not to,
Yeah,
gas off. And with that, plants have to have dark with the light to grow good. So, or to be healthy and thick.
because I mean, you could speculate, these plants out in the wild, like you pointed out with moonlight, would that mean that when they're getting moonlight, that they're not doing their nighttime cycle? I don't, I don't think so. I don't know that. I'm not a plantiologist. I'm just kidding. I know, fake word. Don't crucify me. It was a joke.
Yeah, it sounded good. All right, Tim. Thanks for watching, buddy.
Have a great night.
And my brother's here supporting me, and so is my sister-in-law. And I feel sorry for them because they're not fish people; they're cat people.
Well, I appreciate them showing up. That's awesome that they are. Somebody mentioned, who was it? Scullyfish says the Betta Boy looks relaxed and happy. I like the orb bowl. I think it's great. Yeah, I picked that up at the Big Fish deal, and I mean, he really does like it. And he's a friendly guy. He is a glow Betta. I do not have and never plan to have any black lights or anything. But see if he sees my finger up there. Yeah, then now he sees it. He's like, "What? Food? Food?" Anytime my hand, like when I reach over to turn the light on, anytime my hand goes across the tank, he comes up to say hello. And now he's getting mad because there's no food right there in front of him. Tiffany White says, "Is James going to be a full-time fish keeper and YouTuber after June 5th? Pretty much. I don't have any. I don't think I'm just all of a sudden going to make a living off of YouTube, so to speak. That being said, my mental focus is that if I wake up every day and, in my mind, I have 1.4 million subscribers. And the reason I have 1.4 is because Joey's got 1.3. Are there going to be failures along the way? Absolutely. But without failure, you're never going to get anywhere. So you just got to follow your dreams. As I like to tell the Zen Ginger, when you wake up in the morning, don't leave your dreams laying on the pillow.
Hey, Rose here. Ro, I was talking about you earlier. Sometime when we get together again, you have to tell me or ask me your trivia questions you asked me again, because I don't have a clue, remember anything. I just know I kept getting Rose questions and they seemed like they were really hard, but I think everybody's was super hard. Except for mine. I went super easy. I bet you, James, I bet you'd know my two normal questions.
Oh, Lord.
My first one was, who is Frodo's uncle?
Bilbo.
Good job.
Yeah.
Okay. And my other one, this one might be a little tougher. I don't know.
But I don't know if this will show up or not. Let me see if it does. Nope, it's not going to show up. That's actually the inscription on the One Ring from the Lord of the Rings on there.
Oh, nice.
The ring that I wear.
Who's Magneto's evil big brother?
No. If you get into superheroes, that's Shy's department.
Yeah, I figured she would know.
She would in a heartbeat. I couldn't tell you.
It's a Juggernaut.
Okay.
And the hint was Big Brother. I actually don't know which one's older.
I don't follow any of that. I mean, I've watched the movies and stuff, but I don't follow the storylines and characters and all that. She would, yeah. There,
yep, she said Juggernaut.
I thought she was asleep.
I'm proud of her. We've got to figure out a way to get her over to Sean Sasso and play games.
Oh yeah, I'm sure she'd enjoy that. Yeah, I'm a huge Lord of the Rings nerd. I've seen the movies hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of times, and could even speak a little bit of black speech and a little bit of Elvish.
Oh my gosh! Well, that's awesome. I love Lord of the Rings myself, so maybe we'll have to do a marathon or something someday.
Absolutely.
I used to do a marathon with my buddy once a year, and we'd try to both like one up each other on the snack food. It's great. But I mean, just for the 3 movies, that's like 11 hours. It's a crazy long time.
Oh yeah. Well, back when they were coming out, I was living in Kentucky, Was with family still. It was like right around 18. And there was literally nothing else to do. It was 23 miles either direction to the nearest town in Tennessee or Kentucky. And I would sit and watch the first two movies. Every single day, I'd watch 1 and 2, waiting for number 3 to come out. Of course, Miss Fever wants the Harry Potter watch party, but that's a whole nother story.
And, you know, I only saw the first Harry Potter and the last one. And they were both dates with different girls. So I kind of understood the first one, but the last one, I had no clue. It's just everybody was dying that I didn't know who they were. But my brother and my sister-in-law, she might be here, she may not be, and we all went to see the third Lord of the Rings movie, but we watched the first two before. It was pretty cool. So we sat all day long at the theater and sat and watched.
Very nice. Pegasus Arena says, I want to learn Elvish. I picked it all up online and via the books, a little bit from the movies, but there used to be a lot of really good websites you could learn it off of.
Well, yeah. She thought mildly disappointed. I'd like to make a wand. I think it'd be cool to make one of those wands that light up. But yeah, I just don't know much about the Harry Potters.
I know more than I probably care to. They're rubbing off on me because she's such a huge fan. And my living room is done in like all Harry Potter, so I don't really have much say in it. I mean, our light switch has a little thing over it that says Lumos and Nox. So that tells you how much of a Harry Potter nerd she is if you know what those mean. So,
but if you don't know what it means, it doesn't mean anything.
Exactly.
I was like, okay. There's 3 books to the Lord of the Rings. There's only 1 Hobbit book, but they made it into 3 miserable movies.
But then you have the Silmarillion and other things by J.R.R. Tolkien as well.
Yeah, well, they threw some of that into the Hobbit, the movie, and I think they should have just had just the Hobbit movie. I mean, they added a lot of stuff they didn't need to. I mean,
well, you know, you're really a nerd if you have the I can't think of what they call it, but it's you play the movie, and then for the Lord of the Rings, they had the cast sit there and talk about the movie while they were watching it. I used to have that memorized word for word on what the cast said while they were watching the movie. I've watched the movie so many times, I started watching all the special feature things like that. I don't anymore, but that's actually one of the good things I'm looking forward to with leaving the company I'm with is at this point I can basically tell you exactly what shelf every single item sits on in the store. So I'm looking forward to deleting that information from my brain and putting in more useful fish thoughts or facts. They used to be great with Latin names, and I don't remember Jack anymore.
That's cool. This is how big of a nerd I am. I was upset that Tom Bombadil wasn't in the movies.
Oh yes, yeah. There was a lot of debate around that.
Yeah,
we have gone way off the deep end. We still have 49 people watching. I love y'all. That's awesome. But yeah, this is kind of the typical Thursday night. You know, we do the fish thing, and then we kind of segue off into left field, and just see where it goes, and just hang out and have fun and talk about life in general. And you know, if we've got fish questions, we talk about that. If not, we find something to talk about.
Now you see, Lefty had me all excited for a second. He said, "You and my sister would have a lot, or would get along very well." And I'm thinking, "Oh, me? No, it's Shy. You're both big Harry Potter fans." Like, well.
Oh, all right. If anybody's got a sister that would get along really well with Ed, send details to my email, and I will screen them. And then no,
she's got to like everything but Harry Potter. Because both girls I took to Harry Potter stunk.
Dude, that's awesome. You've got 75 likes. That is fantastic.
75 is my football number. But
see. Bonnie W. Hello. I don't think I've seen your name in here before. If I have, I'm sorry, but welcome. It says, does anybody have a few extra ram's horns they can send me if I pay for shipping?
Where's Bonnie live?
Yeah. So where do you live? I guarantee we can get you some ram's horns. I'd probably toss a handful a week in the African cichlid tank to be eaten because they're so annoying.
Now, wait, what did you want them for? Just to keep? Because she ought to go with rabbit snails because they're kind of cooler and they look just like rams.
Well, maybe she doesn't think they're kind of cooler.
Wait, did she say ram horns or trumpets?
She said ram's horn.
Oh, never mind. Yeah, I would just go with the...
Yeah, absolutely. Send me an email, fishroomfever@gmail.com. And I don't even think it'll cost me that much to ship them. I'm not really worried about it. But we'll send you some out because I've got tons. I've got a 20-gallon long that's probably got 50, 60, 70 of them in it, and I'm breaking that tank down, so literally they were all just going to be washed out into the yard. So, yeah, you're welcome to them.
Night Dragon Lair, we will get that Atlanta thing probably a week or two after James is free. Just because he would really like to know when we're all going to meet up in Atlanta.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Kaylor's Aquatics wants to know, Ed, if we get you to 100, will you grow a mullet?
I'd have to grow a skullet, and I don't want to look like Hulk Hogan.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah, I'm better off just keeping all my hair real short.
See, that's one of the things that worries me is I've had the excuse of not being able to do crazy things because I've had a job. So now I already know that this wonderful, lovely group of crazy individuals is going to have all sorts of challenges like that for me that I won't have that excuse for anymore.
That was one of the things I loved. My first job, I owned a photo studio, and I always had to be real clean cut and wear a tie and stuff. And then when I went to work for the UAW, I could do anything I want. So that's why I started dyeing my hair, beard red for football season. I would wear, on third shift, I would actually wear my PJs for pants at night. So.
Yeah. Ro, whenever you get, have a time picked out that you want to go at, just let me know. I will forward that to Guppy Guru, aka my website manager. We've got Ed as my travel manager, Zinginger's my head of marketing. We've got the whole team going here. But yeah, just let us know whenever you've got a time that you want to do, and we'll get you added on the website. It should be called the Mario and Luigi show. I swear you guys remind me of them. That's great. I'll take that compliment.
Yeah, they're more popular than us. Chewy said he'd loan me some hair, but I don't know if it'd get over the border.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
My creative director. Priscilla, is that you? Or are you saying you're willing to be my creative director?
Did Mario go, ooh? Or what did Mario say? I don't remember what Mario. That's a Mario.
It's a me, a Mario.
It's a me, a Mario. Yeah. He must have went, woo-hoo. That makes me.
I remember that.
Oh, I can't do that. Oh, I'm not monetized, so I can make any noise I want.
Yeah. Pegasus Arena says, is this the end of the streaming train, or is there another one next? It would not surprise me if somebody else pops up next. We've got 46 people currently watching. Got a few people in here that are known to do some late night after hours streams. So if anybody's going to do that, by all means, let us know and fire that up, and we'll get the link in here so we can send people your way. We've got about 5 minutes left here, and I do have work tomorrow, so I am not going to stay on all night. I have to be up first thing in the morning. But Pegasus Arena and all of you new people, it has been fantastic to see you. Appreciate you all showing up and hanging out. If you've enjoyed this, here's my shameless plug of the night. do me a favor, check out my channel where you'll also find Ed and me doing this as well. Saturday, we're going to be on with Steenfod Aquatics as the guest. So that's going to be a blast, the three of us. So if you've enjoyed this, don't miss it over on the other channel.
I don't have to work tomorrow, but I need to finish my Project Pasilia project. Since tomorrow's my last day. This is what I would do in high school or college. I'd always wait till the last day to finish things.
Oh, shame on you.
I know, my bad. I was telling James, if the power's out the whole time, maybe we could try to do it Friday night, and I'll just work on my guppy video tonight. I was like,
I was prepared. I had all sorts of battery packs, and that is one thing I will say about StreamYard. It's nice is since it's hosted online, even if I lose connection, given that it's being run off of my computer, it's actually being run on the web, so it doesn't kill the feed. It just leaves you by yourself, or whoever all was up on the panel. So that is a very nice feature for anybody that's looking into streaming. There is a free option for StreamYard as well. You just have to put up with the duck in the top right corner.
well, I was thinking if we had to, I don't know if anybody ever goes after Jason, Redfish Bluefish, but he's got an awesome channel. You guys should check it out. The first time I watched it, I was like, oh my God, this guy's too smart for me to watch. And it actually turned out that, yeah, it's like he's super smart, but he's really entertaining. And I really enjoy it.
Here's what I'm going to do, since we do have some people in here I've not seen before that are getting trying to get acclimated into the streaming times. This may seem like a shameless plug, but it's really not. You can go to fishroomfever.com and
Great website for this.
Get it to pop up here. If you scroll down, let me get on the page so it scrolls. So scroll down past that. You've got stream times every day of the week. So if you're curious and you're new to the Fish Fam, new to the group, you're not familiar with who streams and when, you can jump on there, and there is a listing of pretty much everybody that streams regularly or scheduled.
It was hard to read because it was so small, but
yeah,
it's definitely worth going to.
The screen share.
That's how I keep track of everything, because I'm in videos on Monday with Sand Creek Aquatics at, I think, 10 o'clock. And then I'm with Multi-Tank Addiction, I believe, at 8 o'clock on Tuesday. This one at 11:30 Eastern. And then the Saturday show with Fishroom Fever at 7:30. So,
Pam, is that a website for your art? Sorry, Ed, I thought you were done.
Oh, no, that's good. Let's talk about Pam. She's more interesting.
Yeah, Pam, if that's a website for your art now, if you want to send me that information, I will forward it along. We can get you added on there. Let's see. All right.
Hopefully this summer I'll be able to go out with Bob a lot more.
Yeah.
And he likes to do a lot of videos live. And when we used to go out, they made the stupid rule where he couldn't videotape live. But now that he's got like a bajillion people watching him, I'm sure you'll probably see me with him at the pet stores more often. Once the world comes back to normal.
Absolutely.
So,
all right.
Did we ever figure out Pam's website?
There we go. There's a link for it. Okay. Well, it's just theartofpamelaearly1.com. Easy enough to remember. So we'll get that updated. We'll get that on there for you. That way we can try and help you out and support you, because I am, I don't want to say going to be a starving artist, but, the Fish Fam is awesome, and we all support each other as best we can. So anything I can ever do to help somebody out, it makes it worth the money I spend on the website every month. So I'd be glad to do it. Did we find if anybody was going to stream next? That's kind of the only reason I'm hanging on kind of sort of getting past our time, is I want to make sure if somebody is going to stream that we can send people that way. 44 Mag Guy likes to stream it sometimes. I don't know if Nathan's in here or not. Hopefully he's getting some sleep. He's still fresh out of the hospital and he needs his rest.
That's true. Let's see. I don't know. Is Anthony here? He might, or Big J.
Either one. Doesn't look like 44 is going to. Derek, have a wonderful night. 44 Mag Guy. Appreciate you hanging out and putting in work.
And remember, guys, tomorrow's the last day to submit your Project Basilia project. And next Wednesday, is it next Wednesday we'll be announcing the winner on the River Life channel?
I don't know if Rack committed to that day or not, but we will post on the Facebook page, the Project Basilia Facebook page, once I know for sure when Rack is going to be announcing the winners.
Cool.
But yeah, other than that, the only other thing I've got is come check us out Saturday night on the Fish Room Fever channel, where we're going to be making a big announcement about a huge event that's coming. We're going to have the dates of that and some other information for you. So be sure to check that out. Plus, we're going to have Bob Steenpot with us. So that's going to be a blast hanging out with Bob Steenpot. I want to say thank you again to Streetwise, who became a Fish Room Fever channel member tonight. If you're still listening, Streetwise, I really do appreciate you. And I'm going to refresh just to make sure I didn't miss anybody else. Nope. All right. Perfect. So
Sharpie just asked if the ugliest guppy is part of the competition. Submit it, and you might be surprised.
You never know. All right. Well, Ed, we are on your channel, so I will let you in it. I'm just going to say good night, everybody. Thank you. Take care. And just live life to the fullest.
Yeah, thank you to all my mods. I see Lefty Bob, Derek, Meg, or 44 Meg Guy is still here. Zen Ginger is still here. I know Monica Lynn was here. Lefty, you've been just amazing. Doing a super great job. Oh, Griffin's here too. I don't know if I see anybody else. Thank you all the great mods. You guys are super good. You did a super great job. Nobody cussed at me that I noticed, so I appreciate that. And thank you, everybody, for watching and having a good time. And I guess we'll just see you on Saturday at the Fish Room Fever at 7:30 Eastern. And thank you, James, for hanging out and having a fun time with me, too, tonight.
Anytime.